Donald Trump won the election. I have a lot of Facebook friends right now. I have people who are on the extreme Trump support side. They're like, woo, Trump, woo! And I have Facebook friends that I think one of them is actually could be out in the riots right now. He's posting some stuff about revolting and just like rising up, take down the government. I think he might actually be out there rioting. And I have a wide spectrum of friends on here. I know the kind of people who voted for Trump, and I know the kind of people who voted for Hillary. And the first thing I need to say is, if you are out there rioting right now, destroying property, possibly hurting people, you are the ones acting deplorable right now. That said, I do think if Trump had lost, there would absolutely be rioting on the other side. My Facebook, the first week up to the election, I saw plenty of people posting things, pictures of their guns, selfies with their guns. Election day, if she wins, we revolt, or something like that. And that's a little scarier, actually, because they actually probably, Trump supporters probably have a pretty good stockpile of firearms, while the liberal protesters probably, they're throwing their Starbucks coffee at people right now, which can burn, but I mean, it wouldn't be the same kind of protest. But we're not there. Trump won. And the country is definitely very, very divided. The other thing I'm seeing is my Facebook is blowing up with people who are calling half the country racists, bigots. The truth is that's not necessarily the case. Though racist and bigots did indeed come out in droves to vote for Trump. And if you voted for Trump, you allied yourself with them. And frankly, that's something you should be ashamed of, I think. But the truth is, there are plenty of Trump supporters out there that supported him not because they like him, but because they didn't like Hillary Clinton, because they wanted to thumb their nose at the establishment. I think that is something that was long coming. The establishment, nobody is really happy with our democracy and how it works. Probably now more than ever, except for, well, I guess, the Trump supporters could be pretty happy with it now, although but coming up to the election they were all convinced it was rigged. Can we at least drop that baseless claim? Can you at least say that that one claim of the many unfounded baseless claims your front man ran on, that one has been proven false? That the election is rigged, that Democrats are rigging the election? Clearly they're not, because Republicans have a supermajority now. They have the House, the Senate, the leader. They have it all, really, which is going to be kind of funny in 4 years when they try to blame liberals for everything that's gone wrong. How are they going to do that now? But the point is, a lot of people voted for Trump for what they thought were legitimate reasons, either to vote against Hillary or because they thought Trump had some good ideas. And frankly, I know this is going to be hard for some of my friends on here to hear, he does have some good ideas. And I feel the vomit coming up in my mouth as I say that. But he does have some. We're in a country of people fed up with corporate politics on both sides. Now, I didn't choose Trump because I thought he's absolutely the wrong man for the job to bring us out of that. And he may very well show us exactly why that's true. Many, if not most of these people are getting unfairly treated by us in our defeat by being called racist themselves, when that's not necessarily the case. This was about being so fed up with an established government, a corporate politics, that they were willing to vote for someone as unthinkable as Trump, which a lot of them held their nose as they were doing, but did it anyway. And if nothing else, that should send a loud message to the DNC about who's actually in charge, the people or the politics. For better or worse, probably worse right now, it's the people. But it is what it is. So what do we do now? Well, for the last 8 years, we've been crying this tune of the nation needs to come together. And the Republicans in our Congress, and to some extent among us, our neighbors as well, did everything they could to stand in opposition to Obama. Even when he did things or tried to do things that they should have been on board with. They stood in his way because he was Obama. Are we going to make the same choice? Is the question I want to ask to you guys. Trump said a lot of scary things in his campaign, no doubt. It may have been some of it grandstanding to his deplorable base, just catering to them. Some of it he might actually try to do. He hasn't done anything yet. We need to show the Republicans how you graciously lose an election. Both Obama and Hillary and Bernie Sanders have all come out saying they are willing to work with Trump in order to achieve a better America. These are the people that we voted for and the people we should be listening to now. If Trump tries to come for the progress we've achieved, if he tries to attack the LGBTQ community and take away their rights, if he tries to ban all Muslims from entering the country, if he tries to rip families apart by mass deporting every undocumented worker, then we can stand in opposition to that. Coming together with Trump does not mean being 100% on his side and agreeing with all of his policies. But if you listen to his acceptance speech, one of the only speeches he's made that was acceptable to me, he didn't talk about any of that. He didn't talk about Muslims. He didn't talk about fear-mongering. What he said he wanted to do was rebuild inner cities, work on schools, work on building hospitals, roadways, bridges, all those kinds of things, which he said in the past too. That is something America can get behind. And we should get behind it. He won the election. He deserves the chance to try and lead. What he actually does, we'll deal with that then, when the time comes. The truth is, some good can come out of this. A very good friend of mine said that maybe this will pave the way for different kinds of leaders to rise up. People who aren't necessarily just politicians with political agendas, trying to please the masses, flip-flopping on every issue as whatever's popular. Maybe this will set in motion, for better or worse, some kind of real change. Maybe the Democrats will wake up and realize people don't want an establishment candidate. We always talk about coming together. Well, for 8 years, the Republicans, the conservatives, have shown us that they are incapable of that character trait. They won't do it. It has to be us, sadly. It has to be us who say, enough is enough. We can't be this divided anymore. And if that means getting behind what we could see possibly being good actions of a guy who had his Twitter account taken away from him because he couldn't be trusted not to fly off the handle 1 week before the election and ruin things for him. You voted for that guy. Please think about that. As stomach-churning as it is, as nauseating as it is, it's got to start with us. We have to stop dividing the country. Because if we don't, now we will be no better than what the Republicans did to Obama. We can't be that way. We cannot just halt all progress because our guy is not in office, or girl in this case. We have to give him a chance. At least that. Our brothers and sisters elected him. They did. And we live with them. And we just can't fight like this forever. One thing is for certain. Over the last year and a half, Trump has surprised us at every turn. mainly by continuing to win and grow in popularity. But he may yet surprise us again by not being the horrible train wreck that every single one of us that voted for Hillary sees coming. If instead of standing in opposition to him, if instead of pointing our finger and yelling racist at all his supporters, if we say, okay, you won, let's give you a shot. If we try to encourage him to do the right things, if we try in gentleness to voice our concerns, but work with him on things that we all know need to be fixed. Things like our economy, things like the debt, things like trade, things like businesses coming back. It's possible that we could see real good change in the country. It's possible. But if we just stand in opposition 100%, it's not possible. We're just going to be screwed for 4 years, maybe 8 years. It's going to be bad. It's already probably going to be bad, but we might be able to make it better if we just stop all the hate. Let's not be like them. They're the ones who perpetuated the hate in the first place. Not all of them. I'm upset. But not all of them. But his deplorable base are the ones that elected him on hate. But we gotta have to work with them too. Because they won. They did. They're guys in office. And no amount of protest, no amount of Facebook mudslinging is going to change the results of the election. So, I don't think we really have any other good choice right now but to stand stronger together and try to make America great again. Not that it's ever been great. Maybe. Oh, fuck that. Let's riot. Trump sucks! Goddamn deplorable